When I was a bit younger, young lad, in my prime, obviously I broke up with my girlfriend at the time. For the next like 5 or so years.
Years? Oh,
it was just on and off every other few months, and don't do that.
How did it end like formally?
Yeah,
what changed it?
Time.
Well, it hasn't.
What?
But it just haven't gone back. It just hasn't.
So technically.
You could just pop up to her and be like, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen.
But like,
But
why?
you
What's
probably
changed?
said that.
I'm in a different mindset with God.
Aww.
Yeah.
How would you stop yourself from being drawn back into a toxic relationship?
Distance themselves from the person.
Remind yourself of why it was bad.
Don't think of the good things.
If you just say, oh, I'm ready, let's break it off, and you don't talk to yourself first, like you're going to go back straight away. Don't like let people tell you like you need to go, because you have to be the one to decide.
Just gotta burn the bridges, bro. A no's a no. You can't be best friends after you've dated, and then you gotta just have time apart.
I've definitely been in that experience too. I think it does depend on like the intensity of the relationship. Like I think if you were just going out for a few dates or a few months or whatever, and it wasn't that intense, you probably could be like, it's not working, and you can still maybe a bit awkward for a bit and then back being friends. But I think if it's like more like years and then a bit more intense emotions, then it's probably a bit more of a, I need to just remove them from my life.
Spend time alone and like have your thoughts, reflect. Take your time alone to sort it, I don't know.
Take your time.
The only thing that can help is like time, because you can't, it takes time to realise like, oh, this is toxic.
Change the contact name, remove the heart, maybe get rid of those photos. Yeah, I would say just like go cold.
So how did you move on from your ex then?
I think it took a long time, honestly, and it was a lot of different stages. Like that first stage, like, okay, we're gonna stop talking to each other, and then like, oh, we're followed on Instagram now, and then like, oh, you see they're hanging out with people and you're not there. And I think it does take a while, and for me, I needed to process like every single step of that. I think like talking to friends and talking to other people did really help, because it meant you don't feel alone. And I think like most people have experienced heartbreak.
When you're in it as well, you can't really see. I feel like when you like somebody, like you're what's it like?
It's easy
love
to,
goggles
yeah,
or whatever it's called.
easy to avoid the red flags.
Yeah, and that's only when you're out of it, you're like, oh my god, what the hell, like why did I put up with that for so long?
Be happy with themselves first. If you're not happy with yourself, you can't get in a good relationship.
I think people who come out of bad relationships and end up, going through the same routine and going through bad guys, because like, I don't know, maybe their last relationship just made them feel like destroyed their self-confidence.
You're not good on your own, you can't be with someone else.
Yeah. Self-love.
How did your relationship with God help you in the midst of your breakup?
Obviously a lot of prayer helped, and like actually giving God the space to speak into my life, where obviously in my head I was like, obviously I want that comfort and that person there beside me, but didn't actually let God kind of have room and have his say. So I had to like maybe be like sit in silence for like 30 minutes, which was really hard, but just to give God the kind of space to speak to me and try and get rid of like all the distractions that might be making me think otherwise.
I think for me, it felt like a real time of uncertainty, and for me it lasted probably like 2 years of like breaking up and get back together, breaking up, whatever, and it felt really uncertain. And I think I did really lean into God. I leant into like reading my Bible, making a proper routine, like chatting to my Christian friends and like my leaders and all of that. Yeah. And I think it was such a time of uncertainty, so I just had to lean into God. There's like no other option for me. I was like, there's nothing else I can do. I felt, at those times I felt like quite lonely and all of that, but I know that God was with me. And so actually I left the 2 years so much closer to God than I thought I ever would have been. So even though I don't like wish that upon myself ever again, like I'm glad it happened, and I'm glad that I got through it, and I've learned from it, and my relationship with God's grown from it too.